Good evening. We begin with breaking news. The man accused of kidnapping, raping, and killing 17-year-old Brittanee Drexel of Chilai in 2009 is sentenced to life in prison.
Drexel's accused killer, Raymond Moody, pleaded guilty to those charges in a South Carolina courtroom earlier this morning. We have team coverage on this story, beginning with Erica Cost, who joins us in the studio with more. Erica.
Good afternoon. This comes after Moody was arrested and charged with obstruction of justice back in May in connection to the case. Moody entered the picture as a person of interest in 2011, but investigators say they kept hitting dead ends, and it wasn't until later on, after significant developments in technology, the case started to accelerate. The hearing started off with attorneys dismissing the obstruction of justice charges, saying those were a way of getting him locked up in May after Brittanee's remains were identified. Moody admitted to everything in court this morning and is pleading guilty to charges for criminal sexual conduct, kidnapping, and murder. Prosecutors say 13 years is a long time for a case like this to sit, but they actually were able to benefit from the passage of time as the advancement of technology brought forth tools they didn't know they had. A break in the case in 2011 when Moody's family member offered information on the criminal past in California, suggesting law enforcement take a look into him for that case. But investigators hit dead ends again. It wasn't until later on they revisited cellular data to pinpoint where Drexel was at certain times throughout the evening, and even how fast she was moving, going from a walking pace to that of a car on the highway in less than a minute.
What becomes the technology that helps open this thing up is the use of cell data, user data, not Google accounts and all the stuff that we think ubiquitous nowadays, but actually using a tower location and the communication between a tower location, not to use it for the service of cellular service, but to actually use it to try to determine a user's location in relation to that fixed tower location. That was a novel concept back in 2009.
I was a monster. I was a monster then, and I was a monster. And I took Brittanee Drexel's life.
Now stay tuned for 5 and 6. We'll go much more in depth on what they were able to find through that cellular data and how they combine that with surveillance video they already had. In the studio, Erica Cost, News 8.
Erica, thank you. Moody's former girlfriend, Angel Voss, provided interviews throughout the investigation. Prosecutors say in discussions with her in April of this year, revelations there played a vital role in moving the case forward.
Continuing our coverage, many of Brittanee Drexel's loved ones spoke before the judge in a packed courtroom this morning ahead of Moody's sentencing. The emotional pleas detailed 13 years of their commitment to seeking justice. Among those who spoke included Brittanee's mother, Dawn, her adoptive father, Chad, grandmother and brother, Camden, who was just 5 years old at the time of Brittanee's disappearance. Brittanee's mother said she brought her ashes to the courtroom to keep her presence there on this long-awaited day for their family.
For 13 years, I have searched for Brittanee and suffered the loss of a child. For 13 years, others were blamed for your actions, and for that, I am so sorry for all they endured. My heart is broken, my life forever changed. So many lives destroyed by your selfish actions. Today, nobody wins. No amount of time in prison would be sufficient for the lifetime you took away from Brittanee.
So I want to live for her, and I'm wearing a cross with her today, and I keep it with me every single day. Thank God that we found justice and can end this horror story and move on with our lives by keeping her in our thoughts.
Brittanee's grandmother, Carol, read a statement on behalf of her sister, Marissa, detailing her anger for Moody's secret they felt was kept for 13 years.
Following this morning's hearing outside of the courtroom, Joanne Taylor, the mother of Timothy Taylor, the man falsely accused in 2016 of killing Brittanee Drexel, spoke to the media. Taylor started by expressing her relief for the justice the Drexel family has received. Afterwards, she claimed her family's journey for justice will not end with Moody's plea alone.
Arresting and sentencing Raymond Moody does not exonerate my son. Saying the words Timothy Taylor is innocent does. My son deserves that and so much more. Will we ever see it? Will we ever see accountability, justice? I'm left with that question today.
His mother added the Taylor family has received several forms of harassment over the years. We will break down more of today's hearing coming up on News 8 at 5 and 6. To watch the hearing in full, a link to it can be found on our website, rochesterfirst.com.